Hello everyone, my name is Jasmine and I had a supernatural encounter with God in my room, and it is now 39 days after I was saved. So today is going to be a really beautiful video. When God revealed this to me after I was saved, I was like, God, how do I explain this? Like, what does this mean? And he gave me this great analogy to explain what it means that Jesus died on the cross for us. So if you haven't watched my testimony videos, I would really recommend that because it explains a lot of how I got to this point. But I go in depth in there. I'm going to cover this a little bit to explain how the Holy Spirit showed me that I still had the spirit of unbelief when I was going through my deliverance. So when I was going through my deliverance on August 26th, one of the last things that the Holy Spirit showed me, and it was just like this knowing, I was just like, as my aunt was praying over me, the Holy Spirit showed me I had a spirit of unbelief. And I told her that. I said, I feel like, the Holy Spirit's showing me this. And I said, I feel like the Holy Spirit wants to show me parts of the crucifixion. And I got really scared. The enemy was making me think if I saw something that I would go crazy, that I would lose my mind. But as I was experiencing these demonic things in the atmosphere in my room and these demonic presences coming out of me, I just thought, I don't know what to do. I just like, well, maybe the Holy Spirit needs to show me this. I don't know, because I had the spirit of unbelief and I didn't believe that Jesus died on the cross for my sins. With all the other spiritual things I was doing, all the other books I was reading, I didn't believe it. And, these other things I was reading made me think he was an ascended master. I know, so silly, but I believed that at the time that Jesus lived, but it was just like to give us an example to live by. That's like my understanding at the time. My limited, almost nothing understanding. I was like, it was so much more than that. So, other things that I had read also made me think, oh, that's so barbaric. Why did he have to be crucified? It's just so horrible. Why do we have to be seen as sinners? And, it's just like everything that I read distorted the truth and was making me question and be skeptical and doubt his crucifixion. And so when I was being delivered, and the Holy Spirit showed me this, and I felt like the Holy Spirit wanted to show me parts of the crucifixion, I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I don't know if I was going to have a full-blown vision. I don't know if I was going to experience things in my body, because I already was experiencing things in my body. But as and my aunt even said, well, what are you afraid of? I said, I don't know, the enemy's making me feel I'm going to lose my mind. He's making me feel like I'm going to go end up in a crazy hospital. Like, the enemy really didn't want me to see that and to know the truth, right? So then my aunt was like, well, what if we just pray he just shows you his hands or his feet? And I was just like, I'm just like literally like this in my room, it was like so, like everything was so intense. And again, demons were coming out of me. So I'm just like, I don't know, like it was a very, very intense, scary time, again, realizing the reality of all the things I have been doing in my life. So when I was shown this last thing, and it was a big one, I mean, the spirit of unbelief, that was huge, so I just said, okay, just Jesus, just, I don't know, I would have done anything, right, just to escape this hell that I was in. And I was like, Jesus, just show me the truth. I don't know. Just please, just don't let me be able to handle it. I just don't know. I was just like, okay, just show me. And at one point I was saying, just show me. If this is what he needs to show me, I don't know, just show me, right? So I'm saying, just show me and show me the truth. I do this thing with my hands where I say the spirit of unbelief that I had just like kind of unraveled. It unraveled, and all of a sudden it just hit me like boom, like literally, like in an instant. It was the renewing and the renewal of my mind that the word talks about, where I was like, boom, it just hit me. I was like, oh my God, he did die on the cross. He died for my sins, and on the third day he rose again, and he is the only way. He's the only way. And prior to being saved, prior to the spirit of unbelief literally being delivered from me, I thought there was all these other ways to God. I thought, well, there's this way, and there's this way, and there's this belief. But now I know it's only through his son, Jesus Christ. It's only through Jesus. And I was just so grateful to God for that realization, because that literally hit me like a truck. That's what I tell everyone. I was like getting hit by a truck. It was like waking up the next day and the sky's pink, but it actually wasn't. It didn't take a whole day. I mean, the deliverance was about 3 hours, but the renewal of the mind was in an instantly, like, I can't even explain it. It was like boom, the knowledge, the belief coming in of what was the truth. And again, this is nothing I used to believe before. I was like, nothing like this. Reading all these other spiritual texts that had confused me, that had put the spirit of skepticism and doubt and all these things. And but I was just so grateful in that moment. It just hit me so hard, and it was just like I just knew with no doubt whatsoever what the truth was, and I know it, and I believe it with every cell of my being. That is the truth. So when after I was saved, I was just thinking about it one day, and then God just revealed to me this like an analogy of what it means that he died on the cross, because like I didn't believe it before. How do I explain this to people? So this is what this like scenario that he gave me. And so I want you to envision you listening. Maybe you have a child, maybe you want kids. So I'm going to envision a dad and his son. And the dad they're at a crosswalk, right? And they're going to cross the street. And before they're able to cross the street, the son starts running into the middle of the intersection. They're not supposed to go yet. Cars are crossing right in front of them. And the little boy, he's just little. He's like 4 or 5. And he's just living his life. He's a child. He doesn't know. He doesn't know that he's literally putting himself in danger. He's putting himself in harm's way. Literally to the point that he could actually get himself killed. Literally be killed. And he doesn't know it. He doesn't see it. So I want you to imagine this dad, and he loves his son. Just like you love your children. Or if you want kids one day, you can imagine the love that you would have for your child. And when this father sees his son about to literally run in front of this car, if the father could, wouldn't he push his child out of the way and jump in front of that car and take the hit for his child? Wouldn't he take the literal hit and pay the price so that his son would not have to? If anybody heard this story, they would say, oh yes, that father loves his son. He loves his son. He pushed his son out of the way and literally took a moving vehicle to his body that could paralyze him, definitely break some bones, paralyze him, and even kill him. He took that for his son because he loved his son so much. And wouldn't you look at this situation and say, that father loves his son? He loves his son. That he would give his own life for his son. And if you looked at it the other way, if you saw that this father just saw his son putting himself in a dangerous situation, putting himself in harm's way, putting himself in a position to actually be killed, and the dad just stood there and didn't do anything, and just let it happen, wouldn't that be the opposite? Wouldn't that be cruel? Wouldn't that be beyond cold-hearted? Wouldn't that just be, that would not be love. That would be selfishness. That would be cowardly to let your son die when you could have saved him. So let me go into the next one.